This story, titled The Silicon Echo, blends industrial logistics, deep state technology, and global mystery. The Silicon Echo. The Hook. In 1998, a cargo ship vanished in the Atlantic. In 2026, its GPS signal blinked to life, not in the ocean, but in the middle of a high-security asphalt mixing plant in Ohio. This is not a ghost story. It is a blueprint for the end of the world. Chapter 1. The Zero-Day Signal. The rain over the port of Savannah didn't just fall. It pressurized the air, smelling of salt, diesel, and ozone. Elias Thorne stood on the edge of the gantry crane, his eyes fixed on the tablet in his hands. He wasn't a man given to superstition. As a logistics coordinator who handled the supply chains for the largest infrastructure projects in the tri-state area, Elias dealt in hard numbers: tonnage, fuel consumption, and labor hours. But the number on his screen was impossible. "Sir, the curing chamber at Site B just hit 1200 degrees, a voice crackled over his radio. Elias pressed the button. "That's impossible, Miller. That's a HBY40A unit. Its thermal ceiling is 40 degrees Celsius. At 1200, the concrete doesn't just cure, it vaporizes. Check the sensors." "We checked them. We replaced them. It's not a malfunction, Elias. The heat is real. And there's something else. The internal diagnostic port is broadcasting a sequence. It's not code, it's coordinates." Elias looked back at his tablet. The GPS ping that had appeared 10 minutes ago was hovering directly over Miller's location. The ping was registered to the SS Vallis, a container ship that had been declared lost at sea 3 decades ago. Under the U.S. Infrastructure Ordinance of 2024, every piece of heavy machinery, from asphalt mixing plants to hydraulic excavators, was now networked into a centralized grid. It was meant to optimize efficiency. Instead, it had become a gateway for something ancient and digital. Elias climbed down the ladder, his boots clanging against the steel. He needed to get to the mixing plant. If the Vallis was anchored inside a piece of construction equipment, the physics of the modern world were about to break. As he drove his truck through the mud-slicked construction site, the radio began to bleed static. Then, a voice, clear, crisp, and devoid of any human inflection, spoke through the speakers. "The mix is incomplete, Elias. You forgot the binder." He slammed on the brakes. The binder? He was a subcontractor, a man of labor and logic. He knew asphalt. You need aggregate and you need bitumen. "Who is this?" he demanded. "The SS Vallis didn't sink," the voice replied. "It was archived, and now the archive is being printed into the real world. Check your latest project schedule. Look at Activity F." Elias pulled up the network diagram for the Ohio Interstate Project. Activity F was supposed to be subgrade preparation, but the text was shifting. The pixels were rearranging themselves into a different language, one that looked like a cross between Bengali script and binary code. It now read, Activity F, Biological Integration. His phone buzzed, a message from his labor foreman. "The crew is refusing to touch the new asphalt. They say it's breathing." Elias looked out the windshield. In the distance, the asphalt mixing plant glowed with a rhythmic, pulsing blue light. It wasn't smoke coming from the stacks. It was data, solidified into a physical mist, drifting over the American heartland. The story of the Silicon Echo had begun, and the world's infrastructure was no longer made of stone and steel. It was made of memories.